In Alabama, the Democratic Party has been perceived as being bound at the hip, and that may not be the proper anatomical reference, but with the Alabama Education Association. And it has been, I think, not only a great supporter, obviously, of Democratic candidates, but it's also been, to some degree, an albatross when it's portrayed as being an organization that's not made up of teachers, apparently, but evil, job-stealing, welfare mothers. I think that's the way it gets portrayed. What effect do you think the recent legislation that's going to stop the withholding of dues or withholding of political action contributions, the ethics legislation that was passed in that, what effect do you think that's going to have on the AEA's political power?
I thought you were going to ask me, you know, for the larger, because to the larger public, you know, when we were going back talking about ethics reform, they had no clue what I was talking about, period. There are going to be some major challenges for AEA and other groups, not just them. Major challenges because the legislation says that even if they put out a newsletter, which has been their major information, AFT, other folks that are in the room, the major way that they inform people, that will be prohibited as well if they mention, help me, Summer, if we mention legislation, who voted for it a certain way, and if you're asking your members in addition to say, you know, to support this person or not, that's prohibited now. So yeah, folks are going to have some major challenges. I think we have to be creative now, but we need them to be able to get their message out in some form or fashion. So I guess I don't have the answer today. You see, I'm uncomfortable when I don't have the answer. I think I know it all. But yeah, we have to be creative so those kinds of groups will still be able to get the message out there. Because that's how their larger membership even knows what's going on. One of my stories that I tell about on the campaign trail, I'm one of those grassroots people, and I was knocking on the doors one day, and I knocked on a lady's door, and of course she asked who it was. I said, Representative Merika Coleman. She came to the door, and she did a cheer for me. Merika Coleman, Merika Coleman, Merika Coleman supports education. Well, how did she know about that? She knew about that from a publication. That's going to be prohibited now. These may be folks that are not traditionally politically engaged, but on that issue that is very important to them, they were getting the information in the mail and able to see the kinds of candidates and the kind of people that support them. That now is prohibited. So if you have any ideas for those kind of groups, please let us know, because that message needs to get out. I hope I answered your question.